Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. So what does food mean to you? Well, join me today as my special guests are Rowena Scherer, who is the creator and founder of eat2explore.com. It's a culinary experience portal for kids, and it's really an interesting company. And also, everybody is still glued to the TV watching the Olympics in Paris. And we have Anne-Sophie Gerrier, who does tours of a section of Paris called Montmartre, and she does tours by song. They're actually singing tours in Montmartre, Paris, France. So join us today in honor of the Olympics. We have Anne-Sophie on as well. And I just want to remind everyone that if you follow me on Instagram at Maria Liberati, you will be part of the contest that we have for our book giveaway. So follow me at Maria Liberati on Instagram to get a chance to win one of the books in my book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. And also, I just wanted to remind you to stay tuned. Next week, we will be starting all of our back to school segments, and we're also going to have a back to school product guide, which will have the best of the back to school products for 2024. That will be on our blog for the Maria Liberati Show at themarialiberatishow.com. Stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for this interview with Rowena Scherer from eat2explore.com and Anne-Sophie Gerrier. Discover the secrets of authentic Italian cuisine with the Basic Art of Italian Cooking book series. These beautifully crafted cookbooks take you on a culinary journey throughout Italy. And you can get your copy today at marialiberati.com or artoflivingprimamedia.com or your favorite bookstore. Taste the passion, savor the flavors, because cooking is an art. And my special guest today is Rowena Scherer, and she is the founder and creator of this really neat company for kids. It's called Eat2Explore. That's EAT and the number 2 and then the word explore. And she's going to tell us all about it. Rowena, thanks so much for being here today.
Well, thanks, Maria, for having me. I am so excited to be here.
Great. So I guess I'm going to start off with, if you could share the story behind Eat2Explore. What inspired you to create unique culinary educational platform? What inspired you to create this?
So I grew up in Malaysia, and it's always like when you become a parent and have children, that's when you realize your own childhood and how you have learned and grow in your journey. So it was literally in a vacation cooking class with my kids. So
Uh-huh.
my whole life has been in finance, but I love food. I grew up cooking with my mom and my sisters. And because of that, I came to the United States. I even did a culinary degree, but never really wanted to go into the
Go into
restaurant
that.
owner or become a chef. It's just
Uh-huh.
like I'm a chef, a trained chef, but never really in that business for
Right.
forever. And then it was much later in life when I look at my own children, and they were like in a cooking class looking at me, and they were 9 and 12 at that point, and they had no idea how to cook. Like I have always owned the kitchen, and this is my safe space. And
Uh-huh.
and yet, if I reflect back, they need to learn. They will be an adult at some point. And
Yes.
I sort of miss and reflected on myself. Like I was taught how to cook, and now I became a good, chef. But my
Right.
kids never really have the opportunity. So I feel how important it is to teach children the life skill of cooking.
Uh-huh.
And also through the eye of my children, right? They are exposed to the world now technologically, like they are in social media, they know about all these countries, but yet they never really learn in depth about it at school,
Yes.
and how connected the world is right now, right? And
Uh-huh.
if you dial back historically, food plays a huge part of who each nation become, right? The
Oh, yeah.
spice trade, the migration, the immigration, and all that. So I feel like it's important to teach the next generation to be
Uh-huh.
more aware of the world. And
Yes.
so I literally at that vacation just kind of reflecting my own experience and what I could offer because I have truly, I don't want to, like I have lived in many different countries. I adaptable anywhere I go. I can be a global citizen anywhere I go. So I feel like our children needs to be that a global citizen of the world.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. That's definitely a good reason. And that was actually, I was just going to ask you about how your experience growing up in Malaysia kind of influenced this, but you've answered that. So the next thing I was going to ask you is, so you started this company. What were some of your biggest challenges that you faced when you started E2 Explore, and how did you overcome the challenges?
There were many challenges. So, first of all, this is my first experience being an entrepreneur, right? I have always done the corporate world. I did that successfully for many, many, many years.
Right.
And it was literally like I was about to turn 50. I'm like, life is too short. Like, what is the next stage of my life? I don't want to die just saying I'm a banker when I know there's so much more that I want to learn, I want to create, I want to do. And so the challenge is like literally an idea turning into a product, into a
Right.
business, right? So
Right.
that is like has been a journey of mine, and I have enjoyed every moment of it. In fact, when I first started it, after that coming back from that trip, I went to my partners. I'm like, I'm taking a sabbatical. I need to see if, I'm taking 6 months off and I'm going to try it out. If it doesn't work out, I will come back. So that was like the first challenge, right? Be taking an idea, finding the name, is this going to work or not? And so along the way, it's constantly failure, pivot, trying, changing, like we're still constantly improving.
Right.
So I don't think I can't pinpoint to one thing. So I just think
Uh-huh.
that you have to love what you do. I think with a
Yes.
startup in entrepreneur, don't do it just for the money because it's
Right.
a while before you can actually see the fruit of your labor. So I always tell people who ask me about, how do you start up and everything, I feel first and foremost, you got to love what you do, and that, you don't feel like it's just a work. You got to be a mission or vision of something.
Mhm.
So I think that's important. And also you gotta work hard. It's much harder than working for a corporation because I wake up thinking about it to explore. I got to bed thinking about it to explore.
Exactly. And that's why you have to love what you do, because if you don't love what you do, you're going to be like, I don't want to do this. It's too hard.
Right.
If you love what you do, you're absolutely right. It doesn't bother you. You'll just keep going and going and seeing the company to fruition. But that's great. So you were not an entrepreneur then before you started this portal, this culinary educational portal, which I just love because I do, I know the culinary is so important. It's so much related to everybody's history and background and art, the world history. There's so much there that people can learn from. So, but
And,
what do
and,
you, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry,
Yes.
I just want to emphasize another
Yes.
important thing that I discovered is as a family, like a mom and with kids, I think
Right.
family bonding is so important these days. And I see
Yes.
so many parents are losing touch with their kids because they never really have a moment to even connect. So I feel like I want to create a moment where, and I was thinking back to my family time, right? Like with my own parents, with my own mom, every Sunday we cook. Like it's just once a week, but the routine matters,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Every Sunday is when we come together, we make a meal. And so if you make that into your routine since young, it they only want time with you between 5 to 13. Like when they're teenagers, they want with their family.
Yes.
So treasure them when they're much younger, where all they want is your time. And I know it's hard being, especially working parents, where you want a break, but you still have to make a meal. So just make it
Exactly.
fun, right? Come together.
Yeah.
Everyone has a role. And so we always say our cooking kit is not just for children, it's for the whole family. Like family
Exactly.
everybody has a role to like dice an onion, another one chop a pepper, another one marinate, another one
Uh-huh.
roll the meatballs. So like get everyone in the kitchen and make a meal.
Together. Exactly. And it creates so many wonderful memories too, as
Yeah,
well. So there's just so
exactly.
much. So how do you envision the future of E2 Explore? Is there any new features or expansions or anything that you're looking toward or excited about?
Yeah. So we have 24 countries
Oh
already.
my goodness.
So
Wow.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yes, it
And
is.
we constantly trying, and that's always there's so many countries in the world, and the cuisines they are so interesting. So
Yes.
we used to add two countries every year. So we have a 23 country cooking kit. We're slowly adding baking. So we now have three baking kits.
Oh,
So
that's
we
great.
started the German one for the German holiday. So we're going to slowly kind of incorporate the baking into cooking, because then people can just add dessert of that country too. So that's one of the things
Exactly.
we are focusing on. What we're focusing this year, it's a lot about customer experience. So
Mhm.
we have like not we're not adding
Uh-huh.
new country
Uh-huh.
boxes, but we're trying to enhance the experience of our customers. So we're moving into like a membership portal that will have more content. I just started a YouTube cooking video once a month. You get to see me live cook on I'll do a new country every month on a
Uh-huh.
recipe. So I'm adding more experiences around our boxes.
Oh, that's wonderful. That sounds that's really, really interesting. So I was going to say, so so that our audience knows this is a culinary portal experience for kids, but also there's these explorer boxes that do the kids like do the parents have like do they join through a membership? Is there a subscription? So it's like a subscription.
It's both. So
Okay.
each box is a country, and
Okay.
every box has three recipes, right?
Oh,
Three
wow.
local favorite. So
Right.
we give actually, which is very unique about us, is I
Mhm.
curate the spices and the condiments. So we actually get certain ingredients like spices, all non-perishable, like from Japan, from Thailand, from
Uh-huh.
Greece, like something that is different, that's
Yes.
unique. So you don't have to go find sumac, which is
Oh,
hard to find for
yes.
your
Yes.
Lebanese
Yes.
food. So we did that spices and condiments, and then you get like educational material to learn geography, music, history. We have playlists and language of the country, and that I work with and educators
Uh-huh.
to create the content. And then
Yeah.
we also have fun cooking tool and like a flag pin. We have a map that shows you all the countries. So you have the option to buy each country, or you can
Mhm.
subscribe, where you get once a month a different countries coming to your doorstep. And we like to encourage people to do the subscription, because then once a month you get to explore a new place.
Exactly. And I know how kids enjoy getting when they get these subscriptions. Wow, it's like so exciting,
They
to
love the
get the new.
boxes. Yeah.
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
actually have a so we ship all over the world, but of course, internationally is more expensive.
Right.
But in the US, it's all free shipping. But we have a customer who's in Poland, and
Yes.
his son, and you can't find anything like this around the world. So we were very unique. So she will send us an email beginning of the month to remind us to send, because the son will stay by the post box and look
Oh
and
my
say, "Do we have a
goodness.
new box? Do we have a new one?" So
Oh
she's like
gosh.
so anxious about making sure we remember to ship once a month to Poland.
To Poland. That's a great story. I was just going to ask you if you have any memorable stories, and that's
Yeah,
definitely a great story. But yes, I know when kids get these boxes, these subscriptions, it's like they're so excited. So
they're
then people
excited.
can do like a subscription, or as you said, they can go on and just choose the country that they want if they don't want to do a whole subscription, or if they just want to try it out first and then
Exactly.
yeah, and then they could
Exactly.
do a subscription after that. Uh-huh.
And we also discovered that homeschoolers around the US and Canada love us, because they
Uh-huh.
can incorporate like teaching geography and social
Yes.
studies with our
With
boxes,
your
and they
boxes,
can
yes.
include the culinary art too. And so we also have, and this is primarily for a lot of the homeschoolers use it. is our
Yes.
continent. So we have a continent concept.
Uh-huh.
So it's a bundle of 5 countries for the continent. So like if you do a unit study on Asia, you can then
Right.
say, oh, I will buy the Asia bundle so that we can
Bundle.
explore
Uh-huh.
all the Asian countries as
Oh,
part of
that's
geography.
wonderful. So in each box, there's recipes, and you give them the spices, and but those spices are for those recipes, so they can create
Right.
them easily. So as you said, the most difficult ingredient you give them, and then probably everything, all the other ingredients could be things that they
Yeah, it's it's
maybe.
basic ingredients. We'll give you a shopping list to buy like your chicken and your broccoli and stuff.
Right, right.
And we also the boxes, most of them also are vegan optional and also gluten-free optional.
Oh, that's
So if you have
great.
dietary restriction, because we don't provide you the fresh ingredients. So we just
Right,
have like vegetarian mixes, so or gluten-free
exactly.
mixes. So you can just still make it gluten-free and vegetarian or
Oh,
vegan.
oh, that's wonderful. And lastly, I guess I was just going to ask you, what has been the most rewarding part of your journey doing Eat to Explore so far?
I always say, it's like seeing my vision coming into fruition and
Right,
seeing
yes.
families literally so excited about they're learning a new country and they are seeing the time spent with their kids and also seeing sometimes the family centers photos of kids like so proud of what
Hmm.
they create, right? It's like
Oh,
confidence
yes.
building and they love to show and it's so nice to see that smile on their face and like they're
Yes.
just happy that they make a meal and it's
Yes.
from whatever country it is and they're like
Exactly.
wow,
Exactly.
anyone
Yeah.
can do this.
I was going to say I mean, I could see that as it builds confidence and self-confidence, definitely, but probably teaching math skills and reading skills because they're reading and doing these recipes. So I could see it also being not only a culinary experience, but it's really an educational experience that they don't really realize they're having fun, but they're learning, they're learning, but they are having fun and learning at the same time.
And they will remember when they're adult that, oh, I remember making that, and as a
Exactly.
family. And then if they visit that country,
I
it
was
makes it
just gonna,
even more enriching.
exactly. I was just gonna say it makes it even more enriching, definitely, because they'll have a little more knowledge of that place. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Rowena, any last words or anything? I know I wanted you to tell people where to find E2 Explore.
Yes.
And
Yeah. So Eat to Explore, you can find us at obviously our website, eat number two explore. So it's EAT number two EXPLORE.com.
uh-huh.
Like I said, you can subscribe or you can buy single boxes. We have 24 countries. There is a map that shows you all the countries, and you
Hmm.
can click on it and see all the different the content of the box. You can also find us on Amazon. So we are also available on Amazon.com. So that's an option because there are definitely people who prefer to buy off Amazon. So and just to say to the audience as well, if you are homeschoolers and you do have funding from the state, we are approved in every state that provide funding for homeschoolers.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful. So
yeah,
what a
so that's
yes,
why can find us that way and use your educational funding to get our bosses
purchase.
for your
For the
curriculum.
curriculum. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Much success. I just love it. It's a great experience for kids. Like I said, they're learning, they're having fun, and they don't really realize that they're learning. But it's a whole fun thing. That's wonderful. Well, much success with the company, and hopefully you'll be back. We'll have you back next year, and you'll let us know what's going on with the company
I
and
would love to. I would
that's
love
yes,
to.
e2explore.com.
e2explore.com. If you want to watch my YouTube live, it's
Yes.
every third Wednesday of the month, 6
Okay.
p.m. Eastern Time, and it's
Uh,
at E2Explore, so you can find us on YouTube channel.
oh, there you go also. So
There
you
you
can
go.
also watch on YouTube. Great. Thanks so much, Rowena. That's a
Thank you,
definitely great
Maria.
story. I love it. Thanks. Hi, this is Maria Liberati wishing you a happy summer and hoping that along with indulging in great food and drink, you'll also indulge in my book series. If you'd like to take a trip to Italy without leaving your armchair, get a copy of The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Holidays and Special Occasions, and The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Da Vinci Style. Peace, love, and pasta. My special guest today is Anne-Sophie Gerrier, and she is joining us from the special place in France, Montmartre. And we're having her on now because everybody has their eyes on Paris. I know Montmartre is not that far from Paris, and everybody's looking at everything French now for the next, I guess, few weeks. They are, at least if not all the time. And Anne-Sophie does she has a really special company in Montmartre that I thought a lot of my audience would be interested in hearing about in case they're going to visit. Anne-Sophie, welcome to or should I say bienvenue? Is that the correct word in
Yes,
French? Bienvenue.
bienvenue.
Bienvenue in French. Tell us, is Montmartre, I don't remember, is that far from Paris?
Thank you for inviting me. Yes,
Yes.
Montmartre, in fact, is in Paris. It's
Oh,
part of Paris.
so it's not a city out of Paris, it's in
It's kind
Paris.
of a village in Paris.
It's a neighborhood, like a neighborhood in Paris. Uh-huh. Okay. Yes. So you are in Paris then.
I
Um,
am.
yes. So tell us about the tour company that you have. What's it called? Montmartre Tours?
Montmartre en chanson, Montmartre in songs.
Song, Montmartre and song. Okay. And as you can imagine, she sings. But tell us a little bit, how did you come up with doing this type of a tour? How
In
did
fact, I was singing in a subway
Uh-huh.
in Paris, and during the pandemic, we couldn't sing in a subway anymore for 1 year and a half.
Uh-huh.
So for to continue to sing, I had to sing in the streets. I start singing in the streets, and as
Uh-huh.
I live in Montmartre,
Uh-huh.
I try to find some anecdotes, and
Uh-huh.
I created this tour
Mhm.
around Montmartre, going in front of the places famous singers lived. So Edith Piaf,
Oh, yes.
Charles Aznavour, Dalida.
Uh-huh.
So many singers, French singers, lived in Montmartre. So I'm telling anecdotes and I'm singing a cappella the songs related to the anecdotes.
Ah, yes. And that's how you decided to do this tour company?
Yes, exactly. I start with some friends. They liked it. And they said, "Oh, you should do it as a job." And yeah, after I launched my company, and now I'm doing tours in on the weekend for the French people, but I have also some tours in English.
Right. I'm sure right now there's probably a lot of people there from all over the world. So, um, yes, I guess you have to
Yes,
do them
yeah.
in English also. So where do you go in Montmartre? Are you showing them the where places where those famous singers are like were born or lived at, and what else
Yeah, not born because we don't have any places where a famous singer was
was
born,
born?
but in fact, some places they lived, hotel, houses,
Uh-huh.
flats, and also the cabarets they started in to sing,
Montmartre.
and also the nice places in Montmartre, such as the Wall of I Love You, the Wall of Je t'aime. You
Uh-huh.
have the mills, the vineyards, the
Uh-huh.
old cabaret, and the
Uh-huh.
Sacré-Cœur,
Uh-huh.
la basilique,
Yes, the Basilica Sacré-Cœur,
the
Sacred
Place
Heart.
du
Yes.
Tertre with all the artists doing the drawings and the paintings.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
going in all of these places with the
Uh-huh.
songs, with the singers, and yeah, with conviviality spirits.
Yes, yes. So how long is it just one tour that you do, or are there different tours? Can people choose between different tours?
So I'm doing one tour in Montmartre, and I have created another tour in more in the it's La Marne. It's a river.
Uh-huh.
It's neck close to Paris. It's 1 hour from Paris,
Uh-huh.
and it's on a boat.
Uh-huh.
So it's a cruise, 1 hour 30, about the Guinguette. The Guinguette is some places like a cabaret, but more dancing next to the water. It was
Uh-huh.
all around La Marne. And so I'm telling anecdotes about these Guinguette, this little restaurant where you could dance.
Uh-huh.
And I'm singing the songs about it with my accordionist. It's a musician playing the accordion.
Accordion, yes. So is it just you that sings? Is there anyone else, any other singers, or it's just you doing the tour?
For the
For
cruise,
the
I'm the
tour,
only. I
you're the
created the tour also.
you
I'm doing
did
the anecdotes and I'm singing, and
singing.
only I have a musician to make some
Yes,
musette music.
yes,
And for
music, yes,
Montmartre, I'm alone. I don't have
yes.
any musician. I'm doing a cappella.
Ah, and so the ones you do in Montmartre in the city, that's also just you doing that, correct? Is
Yeah,
that just, oh, great. Wow. That's wonderful. And how long does each tour usually last? How long are
the
they?
the tour in Montmartre is 2 hours. The
Uh,
tour on La Marne, like the cruise, is 1 hour 30.
oh, okay, 2 hours, 1 hour 30. That's a nice amount of time. That's great. That's wonderful. So are there a lot of people at this time of the year, I'm assuming because the Olympics are there?
In fact, the people are not here very to visit. They are here for the sports, so we don't
Oh,
have so
yes.
many person on the tours or in the restaurant. We had a lot of person this weekend in Montmartre because
Uh-huh.
we had the cycling all around
Oh,
Montmartre, which
yes.
was
Yes.
completely crazy and full. But
Yes,
when
yes.
there's no sport events, there's less people here.
Oh, oh, oh. So I guess, yes, a lot of people are watching the sports and not traveling. So maybe when the Olympics are done, everybody will start touring,
Yeah,
wanting
I
to
hope
tour.
so.
Yes, wonderful. That's wonderful. And how long have you been doing this? Is it 3 years?
Yeah, I started in middle of 2000. Oh my God, always having troubles for the years, like 3 years,
Oh, 3 years.
close to
Wow.
3 years.
Yes, yes, that's wonderful. I know you have a website also. So we're almost out of time. Tell people what your website is that they can find you.
Sure, my website is montmartreenchanson.com. So Montmartre, you can write Anne-Sophie
Uh-huh.
Gerrier on Google and find
You'll
Montmartre,
find. Uh-huh.
singer Anne-Sophie, and Montmartre en chanson with un S,
Yeah.
une chanson,
Chanson.
Montmartre in songs in English, and you have
Yes.
all the dates for English visit, English tour, French tours, and if you want to assist on a French tour, I also have the translation on a paper, all in English, for
Huh?
the people non-French speaker to understand the
Yes, to
tour.
understand that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, hopefully someone, we'll have some of our listeners coming out there to
Yeah,
see you and take that tour. That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, Anne-Sophie.
you're
And
welcome.
much,
Thank you so
much
much.
success. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Maria Liberati Show, and thanks for joining us. And as always, special thanks to my producer, Britton Roselle, and this week's special guest, Rowena Scherer, founder of the culinary experience portal for kids, eat2explore.com, and Anne-Sophie Gerrier. And as always, you can find me at marialiberati.com, on Twitter at Maria Liberati, on Facebook at Chef Maria Liberati, on Instagram at Maria Liberati. As mentioned before, if you follow me on Instagram at Maria Liberati, you will have a chance to win one of the books in my The Basic Art of Italian Cooking book series. And you can find all the books in my book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, on Amazon, on Kindle, on marialiberati.com, and the publisher's website, artoflivingprimamedia.com. www.marialiberatishow.com. You can also find videos of some of the podcasts on our new YouTube channel, The Maria Liberati Show, and you can also find videos at vimeo.com/Maria Liberati. And remember, next week we'll be starting our back to school segments and also our back to school best of products guide for 2024. So stay with us next week also. And until next week, peace, love, and pasta.